And we, my friends, are off and running. Happy Sunday, October 6th. For those of you that don't know what is going on here, we are going to be doing, Sundays, I like to give out free marketing help. And one of the things that we did that I got some comments on that was really popular is last Sunday we live streamed for a while, and we solved people's marketing issues, specifically having to do with the Highlevel CRM. And this is going to be of news and importance to you if you use any other kind of digital marketing tool here in 2024. Okay. If you use the HubSpots of the world, the ClickFunnels, the Infusionsofts, the Constant Contacts, all those various ones, and you're considering using Highlevel, then I want you to pay attention, because this is going to be very, very important for you. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just grabbing my link so I can invite people. If you are just now joining, please make sure that you tune in and get your questions asked. So pardon me real quick. Once you go, the way the internet works is once you go live, is you kind of have to is you kind of basically have to go every place on the internet and make sure that everything's working and all your links are okay. So what I'm doing real quick is I'm hopping basically every place on social media, and I'm making sure that I invite all the appropriate places and all the appropriate people. So bear with me just 1 second while I do that. And please make sure you introduce yourself in the chat. Okay, make sure you introduce yourself in the chat. For those of you watching, wondering what the heck's going on, I'm just inviting some people. And just a couple more clickety clicks. We should be good to go. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we can let the old voice box roll up a little. Okay, so I've already see some questions coming in, at least one question coming in. So Patricia, if you're watching, we will get to that. But first, I want to tell you what I was working on yesterday, which is pretty cool. And actually, for a couple of days, but yesterday I spent a lot of time on it. As you know, there's so much you can do in Highlevel. Let's see what's on the changelog. New templates. That just blows me away how often Highlevel releases new templates. Okay, it's just amazing to me. And something else I wanted to do real quick is take some notes, because last week we streamed for 3 hours, and who knows, we talked about a ton of different things in the 3 hours. So what I was going to do this time is I was going to keep like a little notepad file, and then when we switch topics, we can I can put those time indexes in. So we'll call a new note document, if you will. So I love me my Apple Pen. I guess this is technically the Apple Pencil. Yeah, this is the Apple Pencil. So if I switch topics, or if I start to answer a new question and you are watching with me, please make sure that you remind me to do a note as to when the time index was. Okay. First of all, for those of you who are new to Highlevel or considering Highlevel, one of the things you got to realize about Highlevel is they publish changes at an insane rate. So there's our first one right there, right? We are how many minutes into this? 5:16. 5:16. Let's talk about the change log for a second, okay? And this is mainly geared towards those of you who are brand new in Highlevel. Is I have yet to see a company release changes at the speed that Highlevel does. Okay, so let's just take a temporary sidebar here. And for those of you that are considering switching from other platforms, or for those of you that are new in Highlevel, please make sure that you consistently come up here to the little megaphone up here. You have a light green phone, kind of a dark green megaphone. It's right beside the orange bell. And click on View Changelog. If you don't do it every day, at least do it once a week, okay? And the reason is, as I just kid you not, as you know, in the Highlevel Facebook group, the illustrious CEO Sean Clark will make these cute little, very fast videos at probably 1.2, 1.5x. Maybe that's just the speed I watch them, about the major changes. But there's all kinds of minor changes that come out. And so if you're ever kind of tooling along in the Facebook group or in person at the event we have coming up, by the way, let me know if you're going to be there at the event coming up. And you're like, where'd that feature come from? And why am I watching a video of someone else do it? I never saw that feature announced. It's oftentimes going to be in the change log here, okay? I check the change log religiously, okay? But for example, the day is what, October 6th, so Saturday, they released what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and they updated one, so 12 new templates. And oh, excuse me, this is a new snapshot. So you've got, oh, okay, so you've got 2 new website templates they released yesterday on a Saturday. Think about this, on a Saturday. They've got 3 new funnel templates published, 1, 2, 3 right there. So it's not just all website templates. You got to see which ones are being released. 4 new email templates for my realtor buddies right there. There you go. Oh, you know what? What am I doing? Why don't I share my screen? Why didn't someone say that? Why didn't someone say, hey, Patrick, make sure you're sharing your screen so you don't look like an idiot? Here we go. Okay. That really helps when I'm pointing at stuff, if you guys can see it. So what I was saying a little bit ago is that if you do not check the Highlevel changelog on a regular basis, I personally check it at least once a day, once a morning. At least once a week, do yourself a favor and go up here to the megaphone here in the upper right-hand corner and click on the dark green, the second circle over, and look at the list of changes, okay? There are minor changes almost every single day, okay? That's not a problem. But you see the major ones, which Sean puts out a video on, right? Hey, online travel boss, what's your real name? What's your real name, online travel boss? Again, if you don't do this daily, please do this at least once a week. And like I was saying, even yesterday, like Saturday, they released like new templates. So that's what I was covering here, is if you're a business coming into Highlevel and you are not a web designer and you are not creative, which is me, okay, I'm speaking about myself, you got to pay attention to the templates that they put in there, okay? These are just amazing. And it's, hey, Sunday, I'm not sure I recognize that screen name. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your quick Q&A. Always, always, always. But you don't have to even be a decent web designer. You can just come in here. And the way that Highlevel templates work is that oftentimes, not oftentimes, almost always, they're very good about variabilizing the pieces of a template, okay? Which means that you think normally with a website template, you would have to you'd have to go in and you have to replace your name here and your name here and your name here. No, what they're really good about doing on this stuff, and I'll give you a quick example before I get into my first question here, is if I come over here to sites and we'll build a new website, okay? Come on, new website. I know I clicked on that. New website. And let's give it let's pick one of these new templates. We'll say new website. We'll say home services. Let's see if we can find the new home services template. Okay. We'll say most recent. So there should be a home services one up here that they just released yesterday. Maybe I'm missing it. You know what? We'll do this. We'll go home services. So we will go. So we're gonna assume that it's this one. Okay. So continue. By the way, you don't really have a limit on the number of funnels or the number of websites inside your account. So don't be surprised if in my test account and even in your account, what you can do is you can have, I have a lot of websites in there because I'm always installing templates to see, to see what they look like, because it doesn't take me up any space. I don't connect them to a domain, but I may look at them, get rid of them, look at them, get rid of them, look at them, get rid of them. Okay, this one, looks like they didn't do this entirely the way I thought they would have. But normally what you see with these templates, you know what, I'm going to pick one more just in case. I'm going to pick one more. Normally what they do, and if you're an agency in Highlevel, you need to start doing this, is for these website templates out there, they whatchamacallit, they variabilize all the pieces out there. So let's try one more. New website template. We'll pick one, and let's pick one that's most popular business course. Okay, well, life coaching. Let's see. Let's take a look at one to see what I'm looking for to do that right here. What I'm looking for is to find one. Okay, they didn't do it on that one. Let's see if they did it on this one. Ooh, I like this. I like this template right here. Okay. I'm looking for one where they were smart enough to variabilize all of the components to make it really easy for you to launch this. Okay. And if we can't find one, I'll cover how to do that. But as an agency, you need to know how to do this, because this is what makes snapshots so powerful. Is the whole point of a snapshot in Highlevel is to make it very easy to launch something for someone and get it off the ground. Okay, this one isn't there, but we're gonna pick. We'll go back to the home services one. But the only way you can do that is with your snapshots, is if you variabilize almost everything as an agency. Okay, meaning that somebody can like launch a website template that you've given them. They fill in, 5-10 fields max, and bam, they have a decent looking website. So to do that, let's go to this template right here. Here's the one that we just installed. So if you're an agency, I want you to learn about how to basically get ready for this. And then I got at least one question from Patricia, and I'm looking for some other questions coming in. And I want to talk to you about surveys real quick. Okay. And of course, whatever I'm demoing here is going to be interrupted by your questions. And Sunday, I do see your question there. Okay. So we're going to go to the home page here, and here's how I would have done the template. And I know Highlevel, the company, does this most of the time. It's just on these particular ones, they didn't. So the first thing you got to remember is that all this stuff up here should be variabilized, meaning this should come from variables set inside the product. So if you've worked with Highlevel at all, you know that in addition to having static text here, you can always type a bracket like that. And a bracket will let you look at variables at the global level. So that was the address, right? And what that address should be, if I'm not mistaken, is that address. You want that address. Yeah, you want that address to be the address on the account. So when you create a new sub account, or when someone buys a sub account from you, you want the address to be this one over here, street address, right? And you don't want to have to change that for every page or for every template that you launch. Okay, so what you should be doing as an agency. Now, if you're a regular company that you just have a single Highlevel account, this will not apply to you. Okay, this is mainly for the agencies that want to repurpose, reuse stuff. Anybody who wants to scale. if you want to do anything at high level at scale, you're absolutely going to have to learn how to use variables in here. But here what we can do, as opposed to having the address hard-coded there, is I can come to the account name and put address line 1 right here. And then what you can do is you can come here. This is our phone number, right? So we want account phone, and I don't think we have one for hours, because that just kind of changes at the account level. So this is one of those cases here where you'd have to do, come over here into settings, custom values, and we'll create, we'll come over here and we'll say a new custom value, and we'll call this one business hours. Enter value Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We'll keep it really simple in this case, okay? Create that. Whoops. How come nobody caught my typo right there and commented on that? Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Is this up yet? GHLbadass.com. Okay. So another project that's in progress right now. So you've got your variable here now called business hours, and what you can do back as your template here is you can't pull it in now, because these values are pulled in when you go to edit the page. So I would have to save this, back out, come back in here and edit this, and put in account. Let's backspace account. It would be under custom values, business hours right there. Okay. So then you can publish that. Actually, you can't publish it because there's no domain yet, but you can publish that. And then when you deploy this to, other sub-accounts, that information will be filled in automatically. Now, I just realized something else that may not be set up correctly here in this one. So, yeah. So here's something else I would do if you want to make your stuff reusable, is whenever I build websites, whether it's landing page websites or full-on websites, is I like to make sure that my header area and then my footer area are templatized to make it very easy to deploy new pages, okay? So something else I would do is I look for things in sections. So as you mouse over things, of course, you have elements in orange, you have columns in purple, you should have rows in, what color is a row? So a row isn't green. Column. So rows have a color also. So everything in section is a green. And what's cool about Highlevel that most people don't realize is that sections can be made global, so you can reuse them easy. So for example, in this one right here, I've got two sections. I've got two sections that I know I want to be at the top of every single website. So one thing I would do is, first of all, can I move this section up here? Okay. This is something, so we're getting into some really cool things before we start getting questions answered, is when you're mousing over stuff, sometimes you want more precision in Highlevel. You've got columns, actual elements, rows, but what I want to do here is I want to kind of consolidate these into two things, but the mousing over isn't giving me the row. I basically want to take this entire row and move up into the section so it's all one section, because this whole section I'm going to have on every single website. So you've got this cool layers thing over here that you can always open up, and layers gives you a text-based version of the layout of your page here. So, I can tell in this section I've got that, in this section I've got that. So you see what I've got here is, as opposed to mousing over and seeing the individual pieces, what you can do is you can drill down them in a text type format right here. Okay. So really what I want to do though is I want to consolidate these two rows. And as you can see right now, they're in two different sections. So let's collapse these a little bit. And I believe I could just take this row and move it up here to that section, right? And I did it, and I broke, oh, there it is. Okay, so now you see what I did, because I couldn't select it over here, is I just moved it up over here in the detailed text area, and now I can delete this section right here. Now, of course, I would have to do a little bit of tuning, because the spacing isn't right up there. But my whole point is all of this stuff right now is in its own section, okay? And then what you can do, which is really cool, is you can take this section and you can click on this little tiny disk over here. Come on, do your thing. Here we go. There we go. This little tiny disk over here, and make it a global section so it's easy to reuse, okay? You can make it a global section, which is what I usually do, or a template. And we'll say this is AC site header. Oh, template. I didn't want template. I'm sorry. I want a global section. And what a global section is, it's a section that you can reuse in other places. But if you change it in one place, it changes every place. And so again, for those of you doing websites, you really want to start using global sections. So what I've done now is AC site header, save, save. Now that that's a global header, I can then start to come to my other pages over here. So remember, I was making changes on my home page. Well, let's say then I want to make my changes on my about pages and my other two pages. It's going to take time, okay? Look at that, everything all over again. Well, heck, you know what? Why not just delete that section, and come in and click on the plus sign, go down to global sections. There's our header. Take our header and put it up there, and bam, look, that's what we've got there. Okay, so we're going to do it there. We are going to do it on the services. We'll just, trust me, it works on all the pages. But what's cool about it now is, and you can do this with the footer section also, which I really like, is you can edit these sections now, and you can come here one day and you can say, oh, you know what, something on our website changed. Let's say that a social media link changed, or a menu option changed. Let's say you want to get rid of the services menu option right here, right? This should be over here in services. Click on that. Let's say we're going to delete that, right? So I've deleted that header, but what it's going to do is as soon as I save this, it's going to impact all the websites that use this. So click on save. It's going to warn you that you're making a change to a global section. We are on the About page. Now I can hop over. Oh, you know what? Let's use this cool navigation thing up here, Pages. Let's just hop over to the home page. We don't have to leave it. And look at that. It's changed right there. By the way, something else, I don't know if you caught that real quick. You don't have to leave and edit to jump between pages. You can click on Pages and kind of jump in between all of them right there without leaving, without backing out, coming back in to all the other pages. So I would do the same thing here, is I would delete that section. I would delete this section, and I would come over here to my plus sign, go down to my my global sections. There's my header, put my header up there, okay? And now, whenever I make change to that header, it's going to be reflected in every single site. And then I would do the same thing with the footer down here, because it's very much like, for those of you that have worked in another page builder like WordPress or something like that, you tend to make changes on one, and then you have to float back and make changes on all of them. Well, global sections fixes that, okay? So very cool. Sunday, does that help what you were trying to do, customizing the templates and incorporating my custom values and fields? Yeah, basically what you have to start doing is, as you're developing emails and social media content, number one, you need another sub-account to work on in your templates. So in addition to having your own business sub-account, you're always going to have sub-accounts for that you're going to use for your snapshots, okay? So come up with some kind of a naming convention for it. That maybe name the beginning of all your sub-accounts with Snap, so you know that's kind of a model area. Because all too often we get used to working inside of our own sub-account, inside of our own business, and we make changes there, and we want to snapshot that out to other accounts. We don't ever want to do that, because you've got personal, private, proprietary stuff inside of your sub-accounts. So try to make some snapshot sub-accounts, and then use those snapshots to push in the snapshot area. And then when people buy new snapshots, buy new accounts from you, you're going to deploy them over there. And your onboarding process should really be, for someone that buys a website from you, your onboarding process really should be, you buy this, you fill in these variables, bam, you've got a website. It is so easy to do that. And it's easy to do it with custom variables, with custom values. and then custom fields to a point, but not so much. And that's something else I also do is even in my own mails, even in my own emails, these days, where we're going to automation. Even in my own emails these days, I'm pretty good about, I'm pretty good about making sure that I put in variables every place. Okay, so we're going to have a send email right here. I love coffee. Coffee loves me. I love coffee. Coffee loves me. Even when you're building emails here, make sure that for information like your from name and your from email, start. Cool that you're here to see that you're increasing your website template. So what niche are you in again? Can you remind me Sunday, please? So even when I'm building like my emails these days, I don't hard code my name in here. I try to just make sure I use a variable for everything. So user full name, the variable user full name. Oh, thank you. Thank you for correcting me on that. Doggone it. Sunday's like, if you're going to be doing this stuff, I want to see it. I want to copy. So I was saying when I edit emails now, I don't even hard code my name, even in my own sub account. I don't hard code the from name and the from email anymore. This stuff is always variables. User is the person that owns it. User email right there, and then in the bottom of my email signatures, I will even use my username there. And here in the subject line, you can say, hey, travel advisors. Of course I should get that. Online travel boss, duh. And are you going to make it to Dallas? I can't remember if you said that or not. Hey, and this would be contact first name. I think you said you're not actually, right? If I'm not mistaken. You're not going to make it this year. So instantly, this is compatible with multiple sub accounts, and I can easily. Well, look at that. Oh yeah, okay. Username is the owner name. User email is the owner email, and then user first name is the signature right here. And this, by the way, this requires you to do something else, which I do religiously. Is I try to make sure whenever I have any workflow that involves a new contact or a new opportunity, one of the first things I always do is I make sure that every single person has an owner. Okay, so click on plus sign here. Now sometimes it may just be me, or sometimes it may be a round robin, or sometimes it may depend on the product service. So, but I always try to make sure and go in that I have an assigned a user, because then everything else that I variabilize there will work properly. And then this assigned a user, if for some reason I need to add business logic later to have a rotation or to do something, I can either take this out or I can easily change it, and everything else below it works. And as you know, in my workflows, I always have a note. I always add a note to the top of every workflow, just so I get kind of good chronological history of what happened to it. And then it's always a good idea also to put out to make sure you label these so they are self-documenting. Okay, let's get on to actual Q&A questions. I'm going to answer a question, then I'm going to kind of cover surveys, which is what I did yesterday. I built out a really cool survey. Oftentimes people think I know everything about Highlevel. It's far from it. I learn a lot about whatever feature I have to use at the time. And recently it's been surveys. So we are having a Highlevel mastermind when I'm there. Here's the details of it. This is for people that are on site, new people that are on site. This is cool. I bought a domain called GHLbadass.com. And this is the funnel into basically showing up to our live event for free Monday the 21st. Will it be recorded? I don't know. I'm driving down. I don't know if I'm going to bring all my equipment, my recording equipment or not, but we'll see. But anyways, this was my very first survey yesterday, my very first in-depth survey. And I got to go through it and basically work on scoring, basically scoring things and gathering information there. So I want to talk about how I did that here in just a second. But anyways, take a look at that, ghlbadass.com. If you are somebody who wants to Now, I'm going to have to admit, the sales page / landing page isn't complete yet, but if you are going to be on site and are interested in some extra free training, and that would be Monday morning, the 21st at 9 a.m. I actually paid for a room for us to do 5 hours of in-person masterminding, and basically what I do here, except for we're going to have a guided, kind of a guided tour with myself and with my man Thomas. We're doing that on site. So if you're a mid to new person inside a Highlevel, or you just want to join us, go to ghlbadass.com and walk through the cool survey I put together here. Okay, Patricia was asking a question, so let's get over to Patricia's question. Comment on your post. I'm curious about how to keep your list clean. Do you have any recommendations? Let's talk about that. Okay, list cleaning. First of all, who is the king of probably this and reactivation is going to be Mr. Rob Bailey. But first of all, as a general rule, please make sure you do not have people on your list that should not be on there. Okay, do your best to clean off your list. And I see some new people joined in. Make sure if you are joining us, you say where you are watching from, okay, and what your name is, so I know who's watching. First of all, I just want to emphasize that you only want people on your list that want to be on your list, and this is a psychological change for a lot of people. People are averse to deleting people off of their list because it's painful. I mean, if you've only got a list of 100 people and you delete someone off, that's 1% of your list. If you delete 5 people off, that's 5% of your list. It feels painful to have smaller numbers. That's not really, this is a mindset thing. You need to get over that smaller numbers aren't bad as long as they're the right numbers, okay? And so if you're speaking to a group of people, which is what your email list is and your SMS list is, and your Facebook followers and your YouTube subscribers, if you're speaking to those people, you want a smaller, more concentrated group of interested people than a larger group of people that are ignoring you. So you would much rather have 8 people on your email list or 5 people even on your email list that want what you have to offer and are interested in your solutions versus 10 people on there and half of them are your family and half of them have no interest in what you're doing whatsoever, okay? So it's okay to clean up and parse your list. One of the first things I would do in Highlevel in the attempt to keep a list clean is I would set up an automation based on people D&Ding, okay? And D&Ding is a odd term if you're new to Highlevel because it's reversed of the normal logic of an unsubscribe, okay? Someone's either subscribed or unsubscribed in Highlevel. In most CRMs. In Highlevel, they have D&D switches on, or they don't have D&D switches on. So let's hop over here into my buddy Carrie. And you'll notice in Highlevel that you've got all these D&D switches on. And these are on for all the various marketing channels that you have active, okay? And D&D means do not disturb. So I would say one of the ways to keep your list clean is to take action when somebody D&Ds you. Okay, and either reach out to them or plan to delete them. Again, this is a general strategy. What I also like to do is possibly retarget them. So, and if you have this is only something you can do if you have an absolute massive list, or if you work with someone who has an absolute massive list. So in an attempt to keep your list clean, one of the first things I would do is I would come over here and we'll go into my admin folder. And okay, I don't have one here for D&D work. So let's create a workflow. And the most common D&D, in my opinion, is an email D&D. So you're going to come up here, you're going to click that, you're going to say, handle email unsubscribes. And Highlevel was nice enough to give us a trigger for this. So we're going to be doing the D&D. Was there a D&D trigger? There we go. Enable, disable D&D. So the trigger for this is somebody has enabled D&D. So this is the really weird part you kind of have to think about for a second. You're thinking disable. Oh, they want to disable D&D for email, or they want to disable D&D for a particular channel. No. D&D enabled is when they turn it off. Does that make sense? So it's almost like reverse logic. It's like, do you want to enable the option to not disturb somebody on something? Okay. In this particular case, we're talking about email D&D. So email D&D, when they enable D&D, when they enable do not disturb for a particular channel, and they're going to pick email, right? We'll just do email for now to keep it easy, okay? Oh, excuse me. I was over here. I was already down the actions, so we're going to do it down here. The D&D flag is enabled for email. See, you guys are supposed to catch me on this. Email. Okay, so that's the trigger. D&D flag is enabled, whether it's done by an admin or whether it's done by a but not by the user themselves. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor and subscribe, and your name will pop up in the right above my name up here. Your name will pop up if you subscribe on YouTube. It's pretty cool. So make sure you do subscribe on YouTube, obviously, so you get notified for other stuff. So we're going to delete this action here. And remember the Patrick rule, add a note for everything, right? Add a note for everything right off the top so you get a chronological history, okay? Contact unsubscribed to emails, okay? I like to do everything in Highlevel in lowercase just to make it consistent across the shop as I bring on, new people or have VAs work on stuff, or I have clients work on stuff. I do everything in lowercase just to make sure that it's kind of consistent. That way you don't have to worry about camel case. Everyone has a different capitalization style. I just make everything lowercase when it comes to internal type of things. And of course, you're going to save early and save often, especially true for my Mac buddies who've got the 3-finger swipe, who could in a heartbeat just go boop with 3 or 4 fingers, and they've gone backwards in the browser, and they have killed hours worth of work. Save early, save often. So that's my habit right there when I start a new workflow. Is I go in, trigger, note, and then I save right away. Change the title, save right away. I used to go over to settings and make sure that someone was allowed reentry, but we know now that is allowed all the time. So trigger, note, title, publish, save. And then every couple of minutes, I will easily come back here and save something. So you've added a note here. If you really want to know about these unsubscribes so you can do something to reach out about them, this is where you can add an internal notification. If somebody hasn't, so this is kind of the part where it gets a little bit personal as to what you want to do with people that unsubscribe from your email list. Let's get Patricia over here in case you're not watching Patricia. I'm drinking 2 opposite things. I'm drinking coffee, which is probably going to dehydrate me, and I'm drinking an electrolyte drink, which is going to keep the minerals inside of me, okay? So, so note, okay, and then what else are we going to do? Oh, so this is the part where I might do something like, if someone's never bought anything from me, I might let them go freely. Or if they bought something from me, I may not let them go. So this might be a good case down here where, if maybe let's check and see if they've spent any money. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Yeah. Highlevel has like if then templates now. So maybe the action name is, did they spend any money? Because if they did, I want to work harder to keep them versus if they didn't. Personal opinion here. Okay. Oftentimes your if then branches are just very easy yes, no ones. And we'll say contact details. And I believe, do I have my option up here? I should have a variable here for either total spend or lifetime value. Maybe it's over my main account I have. So let's say you had a variable, yeah, normally there's like an LTV variable here. I must not have it in this particular setup right here. Okay, so we're going to use last order, but let's pretend last order is you know what? Let's do it right. Okay, let's do it right. We've got that saved over there. Let's hop over here real quick and put in an LTV amount for a custom field. Okay. we're going to oh, last order amount number version. There it is right there. Okay, let's do that again. List if then have they spent any money? My whole goal here is just to find the numeric amount that we could work with. Yes, no. We'll say workflow contact. No, we'll say, excuse me, contact details. And we want to go to that last order amount numeric value. Come on, was there a currency version? Last order amount number version. Here we go. Okay. It's greater than 0. Okay. Again, that would probably be your LTV variable, but I'm just shortcutting this in the interest of video time here. So, have they spent any money? Yes or no? Yes means they have spent something greater than 0, and I possibly want to try and recover them. No means they haven't. So remember, at this point, we can't email them because they've already emailed unsubscribed. However, what you could do here is maybe put an internal notification here. Just a quick notification to review unsubscribe of. This is probably better for people who have a smaller email list, because if you've got 10,000, 20,000 people on your email list, you're not going to want to review the unsubscribe of every single one of those. Okay. What did I mess up here? Oh, gotta come down here, redirect page to contact. User type is user assigned to this contact. So that's going to go to the person who owns that contact. What you could do here, though, to keep your list clean, if you're somebody and you want to do it via automation, is you may just wait to delete these people. I mean, maybe you can just wait 30 days, right, and then delete the people. This is something new in Highlevel that I did not see in previous CRMs. Of course, make sure your comment is correct. Wait 30 days. And then come down here and delete contact, okay? So, Patricia, this is a really simple answer to your question of how to keep your list clean, okay? Is if people unsubscribe, if they unsubscribe from everything, okay, let's say they've unsubscribed from email, and you check to see if they've unsubscribed from SMS and from everything else. If somebody unsubscribes from everything, a really easy way to keep your list clean would be come down here and do something like this. If they spent money, maybe you want to see how much they've spent, because maybe they are worth more recovery efforts versus someone that doesn't. Just so you know, most people will go down this no path because in the rule of 80-20, 20% of the people in your list will spend 80% of the money, okay? And then in the rule of 80-20, 20% of those 20% are the ones that have spent the most money, okay? Everything in the rule follows the Pareto principle, P-A-R-E-T-O, is that the minority of people in your marketing world would do the majority of the actions, okay? Sunday follows me religiously and consumes everything I do because she's awesome, but Sunday's part of my 20%. Okay, Sunday's part of my 20% right there. Let me make sure that I posted my comment here correctly. And so to answer your question, to Patricia's question, and this was for Patricia Corpus Myers. Let me see what I got here. Thomas. Thomas, man, dude, can't wait to see you. Thomas is my buddy. He's watching in his living room. He sent me a screenshot. Dude, you are the man. I cannot wait to bro up with you when we are in Dallas. Thomas Keenan, by the way, is founder of Step It Up Academy. You know what? Let's get Patrick's face on here because the world cannot live without more Patrick. So let's, and then Sunday, you're gonna have to remind me to switch back to screen sharing when I get back in the mode here. Okay, so my brother Thomas Keenan is founder of Step It Up Academy, has an amazing podcast, and here are the ones doing prepping for this for you for coming up in Dallas. So we're going to answer this real quick. I'm going to talk about this real quick, and then we're going to get back to working on surveys, which humorously, I had to learn surveys very well to do this for Thomas and I. So ghlbadass.com. And again, I'm opening my kimono here, which nobody wants to see. And I'm showing you kind of behind the scenes of what we're working on. So let's get back to screen sharing mode here. So this is totally done. So if you go to ghlbadass.com, you'll see something I'm working on. Everything from the second step forward is really what you need to be looking at. But if you're going to come to Dallas and you have fairly new skills to high level, new to Midland, experts are welcome to come. But this is really geared towards new people. Thomas and I are going to be doing, I think it's 4 or 5 hours of training on Monday morning. And this really only applies to you probably if you're a non-VIP ticket holder, because I believe the VIP party, I believe there's VIP events all day Monday morning. Patrick would either be sleeping in or jogging around downtown Dallas. I decided to partner up with Thomas, and we're going to be doing some education and training for you. And it's not too far away from the hotel. If I'm not mistaken, it's actually what it is. It's literally from the Statler. For those of you that are familiar with the Event Hotel, if you were to look north from the Statler, 3 blocks up, and the UNT building wasn't in the way, you could see the building we're going to be in. So really, it's going to be going north out of the Statler, either going left or right, and then going up 3 blocks and going back in the middle of the block. It's like in the middle of the block, right where the Statler is. Online, what tool are you using to broadcast like your rapper? Rapper with a W or rapper with an R? If you're, I'm sorry, I think you're referring to the live stream. This is all, right now, this is all Ecamm Sunday. I have a Mac, and Ecamm is something that runs on the Mac. If you have a Windows machine, you could probably do all this with OBS, Open Broadcaster System. But yeah, this is where you basically are building scenes. And so what you're seeing in front of you Sunday is a scene I designed. And the scene is basically my screen, my laptop screen at a slight angle to the, I guess to me, it would be to my left. And then there's Patrick's main camera, which is this right here, which is this camera right here, which you're normally used to seeing. That is the camera angled to the right a little bit. Does that make sense? So kind of one is almost like if we were in person, one would be angled this way, one would be angled this way, kind of towards each other. But like I said, if you have a Windows machine, then a PC, OBS would be better on your PC. But my whole point is if you're going to come down to Dallas for the high level event, which you absolutely should do. I'm not mistaken, there's still some GA tickets available. I have a GA ticket. Come down a day early, maybe come down October 19th, October 20th, and then make yourself available. If you're a non-VIP person, make yourself available the morning of the 21st, and you can hang out with Thomas and I absolutely free. There's a coffee shop down at the bottom of the building, I hear, because I'm not going to be taking coffee orders. But again, we're going to be up and early. I don't know about Thomas. I'm sure I'm going to be up at my normal 5 o'clock, exercising and prepping. And then 9 o'clock and 9 o'clock on the dot. I don't want to do this thing at 9 o'clock where we wait for people to stray in. I want to get started on time. I want to stop on time. And then I'm aiming to stop right around 1 o'clock. But if we get more people, we may go a little bit longer. But I want to give people that chance to have a break in the afternoon to explore Dallas a little bit. And then registration, the first party for the high level event starts Monday night. And the official check-in, I believe, starts Monday afternoon, Monday night. So I just want to mastermind and get people together and learn some brilliant things from Mr. Step It Up Academy himself. So to do that, one of the things I had to learn over the past couple of days is surveys, okay? And the reason, and again, I'm just kind of sharing with you what we're doing here. The reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to gather some information about people as they register for our event. And this is something that I like to do. And if you have virtual events or you have in-person events, you want to, as much as possible, whether it's for webinars, okay, anytime you're going to be speaking to a group of people, keynotes, breakout sessions at conferences, keynotes at conferences, webinars, chambers of commerce, anytime you're going to be speaking to a group of people, you should always, always, always push to have some kind of pre-event survey. And I'll give you an example. I am speaking about AI to a group here, I think the Thursday or Friday before I go to, before I head for Dallas. I'm speaking to a group remotely via AI. My goal is to get a survey out to them pretty quickly to learn what they know about AI or what they want to experience from AI, so I know how to gear my training. At the same time, guess what? That's going to be people on my email list that I can talk to pre-event and post-event. Could I market something to them? I probably could. But I just like staying in communication with people because they may require some more free training later. So I want to cover really quick kind of how I built this and the scoring stuff behind the scenes. And because I was just this is one of those areas of Highlevel that I wanted to get good at, never had a chance to until now. So to do this, first of all, give me a shout out if you love my amazing design skills. It took me a long time to work on this template. I had to go find the perfect background, the perfect footer. I had to go pay a graphic designer like $2,000 to build this cool image because they built it from scratch right there. And if you believe any of that, you've got to play poker with me sometime because I will rake you over the coals if you believe all the BS I just said. Everything here is a template. Okay, everything here is a template. Your boy Patrick Allman is not a graphic designer in the least. I use templates all of the time, and I get compliments on my work. And people are like, man, recently, for example, like my YouTube thumbnails, people are saying my YouTube thumbnails are amazing and my graphic designer must be amazing. It's templates, templates, templates is what it is. Okay, so how do we do this? Come over here to surveys, okay? Let's start with the basics. Surveys are under sites, right? Builder, and of course, there's a template for everything. So add a survey. We're gonna Sunday. If you're still tuned in Sunday, we're gonna use your business, okay? And you can kind of guide me through the questions here. So we're gonna choose from template, and guess what? There's a template down here that has most of this. Let's see, which template did I go with for mine? Was it, let's go back and look at mine real quick. Mine's all red and black. It's all blackety black with the, with that cool geometric background. So let's see which one if I picked here. It's got to have that cool background on it. Which template did I pick here? Come on up. Knowing me, I probably picked one of the, ooh, was it that one? No. Let's see if I can figure out you know what, here it is. Content creation. Here's the one I picked right here. Okay. So here's the template I'm going to pick right there. View that real quick and continue. And we're going to go with Sunday's business. We're going to disqualify somebody from needing a travel agent, okay? So come on, Highlevel. Don't make me look like why'd you throw me back to the agency dashboard, Highlevel? Why did you do that? Why did you make me look like a fool? Okay, we're going to close that one. We're going to come back here. We're going to go back to my sites. And did my survey show up? Highlevel acted funky. Okay, content creation, market research. We're going to use Sunday's business. And we're going to say, do you need filter? We're going to say filter travel agency coaching prospects, okay? That's not the best name on there, but hey, that's going to remind us what we're doing here. So the first thing you can do here is, number one, clean up some of these questions from previous pages. So in my case, what I think I did is I went and deleted some of these other pages out of here. Delete, delete, delete. Just because I don't know what's going to be on them yet, so I don't want to have to make my changes over and over and over. So of course, save early, save often. Save that. And then let me see, what else did I do? Oh, I wanted my image at the top. And so that is, this is a, what I believe that's called a 9:16 image is what it is these days when you see things like YouTube thumbnails or horizontal ads, they tend to follow all the same ratio. And it's, I believe, a 9:16 ratio is what it is, or 16:9 ratio, which means, you know, whatever the number is, whatever the width is you have for the width there, you can divide that by 16, multiply it times 9, and you're going to get the ratio on the bottom. But this is a very common image size. So the way I designed a really cool image, no, you don't, Sunday. The way I designed a really cool image is I just went over to Canva. That's me opening my kimono right there. I went over to Canva and I just said design a new YouTube thumbnail is what I did, because YouTube thumbnails are in the same 16:9 ratio right there. So if you start developing graphics with a 16:9 ratio, you're going to come up with a lot of reusable graphics. So I want to replace that image up there. So I'm going to come over here to, I believe it was, is it themes or is it options? Let's come up here. Is it styles? Here we go, colors and backgrounds, there it is. So I like the background geometric image there, but I want to replace, the uploaded image right there is the one with the lady, and I want to replace that. So I'm going to trash that one. I'm going to pick one. Now, one of the things I don't like about this is Highlevel doesn't use my media library, okay? Eventually, every function in Highlevel that pulls in graphics will pull in something from the media library. There are just some things that don't yet, okay? Compared to some of the other cool things you're rolling out, I'm not going to whine that much about this, okay? So I'm going to go over here to downloads. I'm going to pick the one I was working on. Click on open. Save. Bam. There you go. Okay? So again. Hey, Tamra. Good to see you. Thanks for showing up this Sunday. I appreciate it. So yeah, just design a 16:9 ratio on Canva. And by the way, when you go into Canva, for those of you that haven't done it yet, the subscription is well worth it. I think I pay like $15 a month, and it's getting ready to go up, I know. But there's so many templates in there that they end up making me look good. And as you know, right now, I go live 3 days a week, and I have to come up with a template 3 times a week. I'm just going into Canva, picking one of the YouTube 16:9 ratio templates, and altering it to make Patrick look good. Okay, I am not paying a graphic artist for this particular kind of work, because I can knock it out myself pretty fast, especially like late on a Sunday night when I'm like, oh crap, I'm going live tomorrow. I've got to whip out a template. And again, for those of you that are watching, if you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor and subscribe on YouTube. Your name will pop up right up here above me. There's like a little invisible box right over here, and your name will pop up. And also, if you haven't done so, please make sure you share this on your profile and your fan pages. Let's get some viewers in here. Okay, so I deleted out the extra pages. I added my cool image at the top. And now I'm going to come here and I'm going to start asking some questions. Like, let's say, okay, Sunday, I'm going to totally make up this stuff about your industry because I know nothing about it. You are the queen of this industry. I am a pawn in your game. So I'm just going to make up stuff, okay? I'm going to come over here and I'm going to ask, I like to ask single-click questions to easily qualify people. And to me, single-click questions are almost always, radio buttons versus drop-downs. To me, a drop-down is still 2 clicks. So if you give somebody a list of 10 drop-downs, that's still click, open the drop-down, scroll down, and click the option, okay? That is 2, possibly 3 actions. And people are lazy on the internet. We have to make our stuff very easily to use on mobile and easy to use for lazy people, okay? So I'm going to come down here to radio buttons. That's what I did for mine. I'm going to put a radio button over there. I'm going to keep this really clean for style right now because Patrick has no style at all. And this is, how long, let me see. Let's see, this is for people who are running travel agency coaching. So let's say Sunday does travel agency coaching business, okay? How many coaching clients do you currently have, okay? And Sunday's options might hear, don't have any yet. 1 to 5, 5 to 10, and as I tend to go up, I tend to expand my scale. So we'll say 10 to 50, and we're going to make Sunday's going to show them how to dream big, 50 plus, okay? So those are the options here. And what we're doing here is for Sunday, if, and Tamara, give me an example if you want one also. What I'm doing here is if Sunday wants travel agency clients, is I'm coming up for a way for her to figure out how important this client is, what the urgent needs are of this client and what kind of problems this person might be having. Because somebody who doesn't have any, whoops, typo right there, you guys are supposed to catch that. Somebody who doesn't have any coaching clients yet, who wants to be a travel agency coach, has different issues than somebody that has 50 plus clients right there, okay? So, so this may be one of Sunday's questions here, and Sunday, let me know some of the other questions, examples. Same with Tamara. You guys, please feed me data, and I will incorporate it inside the demo here. Okay. Look at that. We just went live over an hour. Very cool. So I'm going to save this right here. And then what I learned yesterday is one of the things I know I do want to do these days is I want to score these options that come in. And the scoring of all the questions lets me know how urgent somebody is versus how not urgent they are. So if somebody is making $50 million a year as a travel agency, and they've got 50 plus clients, they've got a huge staff, they may not need the same kind of coaching, or even any coaching, versus someone who's just getting started off and has plenty of money to invest into coaching, okay? And I don't want to sound like a cold, heartless bastard. Are you hosted or independent? Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. A very good question. I'll get that one on here. And the Sunday, I'm assuming these are questions that are going to judge whether or not you want to work with them. Because in marketing, there's not a shortage of people to talk to. There's a shortage of right people to talk to. And we're going to help Sunday here on Sunday filter out the right people to talk to, okay? So I've got the question here, again, saving early, save often. And I want to start scoring these, okay? Yeah, you can create a quizzes and score and answers to segment 100%. 100%. That's what... Come on. What do you think I did here? Shh. What do you think Thomas and I are doing here? Okay. Shh. Okay. Going back over here. Scoring. So over here, once you have your options here, you can then come over here to options and you can say enable calculations and you can start to give these numbers a value. Okay. And let's say, then this is going to require you to stop and think ahead a little bit. Let's say we're going to make up 3, it really doesn't matter. Number of questions doesn't matter, okay? It's important to remember, yeah, the number of questions does matter, but that's really not important yet. So let's say in that particular case, I want my top value to be 10, right? What I do when I built my scoring is I kind of use my maximum value first, and then I kind of backed down to there. So this may be a 10, 8, 6, 4, and a 2. I leave some room for growth in there, okay? If you want to leave some more room for growth in there, maybe you can do this right here. But I kept mine simple. The last one I did, I just did this one right here. So thinking ahead, I'm going to have 3 questions, okay? This means if I keep up this scoring mechanism right here, this means that my 30s are all going to be my best prospects filtering so far, and my highest priorities and the ones I want to pay the closest attention to, okay? And then let's say if I have 3 questions and all my bottoms are 2s, all my bottom scores are 2s, then I know that a 6 is not a very much priority as a 30, right? So let's save this here. Sunday was nice enough to give us some other examples, so we're going to come down here and add a page. And what's this question going to be here? Are you hosted or independent? So then our question becomes another radio button because these are single click. And this, are you an independent travel agent? I believe I did all caps on the previous ones. So for those of you that are anal retentive and you want to see me can keep up that independent. Are you an independent? Are you an independent travel agent? And that may be yes, no. And let's say our yes is going to enable calculations here. Let's say our yes will be a 10, because I'm assuming Sunday, those are the ones you really want. And our no will be a 2 here, okay? So far, our maximum score is going to be a possible 20, okay? So we're going to save that, save early, save often. How many coaching clients do you currently have? Don't have any yet. 1 through 5. Are you an independent travel agent? Let's see. What's another question we might ask a travel agent? Maybe what like their what their average booking size is. Would that be a question? That would be good to know as a travel agent coach, to know whether or not a travel agent's a good coaching prospect up here. Yeah, let's go with that one, because again, I'm making up my travel agency live here. And this question is going to be, what is your average ticket? And now what we're starting to do is we're starting to we're starting to figure out the type of people they work with, because a travel agent that works with $100, $200, $500 tickets is going to be much different than the travel agent that's working in the multiple thousands of dollars. Okay, on average ticket size. What's your average ticket size? I don't know what the ticket's a bad word. We'll say, what's your average transaction size? Okay, and we'll give some low end options here. But let's say that we'll say that we really want the 5,000 plus people, because we know that travel agent is probably making a little bit of bank there. Okay, and maybe here I go with the we'll go with 3,000 to 4,999. By the way, when you're giving ranges of numbers, please make sure your ranges don't overlap. Sometimes I'll see people who are putting in information like this, 3,000 to 5,000, and then when this is presented to booking, booking. When this is presented to someone, they don't know what to pick. If someone makes exactly $5,000, they don't know what to pick. So please always make sure when you're presenting ranges on screen like this that you make sure they do not overlap at all. What's your average booking size? What's your average booking size? Booking, we'll say transaction size. Okay, what's your average booking transaction size here? Okay, 3,000. Maybe we go down to 1,000 to, this would be what, 2,999. And here we're going to come down here. We'll say on the low end, we'll say 200 to 999. Okay. And we're going to leave room for edits right here. I heard that from somebody once. Save that. Let's make sure our ranges do not overlap. 5,000, 3. Okay, cool. They do not overlap. Very cool. Okay. I'm getting ready to sneeze here, so let's make sure that I know where the mute button is. Okay. Enable calculations. And again, our top one is the one we really want, so that's the 10. And then we will, let's see if my backing out works here. 6, 4, 2. Okay. Now, in this particular case, a 2 doesn't really apply, because what if they're average? I guess it really does, because if someone books a lot of $7,000 and $8,000 and $10,000 ticket packages, they're going to qualify in this one up here. Other would be maybe they're not started yet, or maybe we'll say this one is other or NA. Okay, so we're going to give people an out there. So again, let's review these. How many coaching clients do you currently have? Are you an independent travel agent? Yada, 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 yada. And then what I usually keep my qualification questions, pretty short and pretty simple. And by the way, let's take a preview of this and see how it works. So I've got 10 to 50. Yes, I'm an independent travel agent, and my average transaction size is this right here. Okay, I don't have anything behind this yet, so that's what it works. So cool, pretty cool so far, right? And then this is the part where I would kind of come in and I would click. And by the way, if you don't know how I'm adding new pages here, there's like a little plus sign right below here. They're called slides. You can add a slide. And then this is maybe where I start coming in and adding some information together, the information. I hate full name as a field. I don't know about any of you. I hate getting full name as a field. I always do first name, last name. And to tell you the truth, oftentimes I will put my fields in the priority in which I want them. So more often than not, it's very important for me to get the phone number field. I'm going to take this off for now. email field. I just dragged over email, you idiot. Did I not just drag over email? Email. Phone, what did I do? Okay, phone, email. Okay, we're going to get rid of that for now. Save. And then first name, last name, click on these. Please make them required. And let's see, what else did I do on our cool badass one here? What else did I ask for here? Oh, website in case they have one, and just some other general information. I always like giving people free form text information to basically tell us something about themselves versus everything else being in fixed fields. So that might go, let's save this again just to be safe. This might be this one, and this is, you know, what else do we need to know about you? And by the way, Sunday, you were asking about this. These actually end up as fields inside of the contacts. And you know what? Let's go ahead and put in website. Where's the website option? Come on, where's website? There it is, website. And you notice the further I get down here, I make these things non-mandatory. So they may not have a website, so don't make that mandatory. And what else do we need to know about you? I make those two non-mandatory, but these first four I make mandatory. So again, let's take a look and see how these work here. How many coaching clients do you have? Don't have any yet. No, other, NA. And fill out that information, submit, and they would be a contact inside of our system, okay? Capiche? Capiche. So far, so good. Now, let's get advanced here, okay? When I was working with surveys and trying to figure out this whole scoring thing, I expected my number, I expected a number to show up automatically based on those numbers. And that was probably the question you saw me posing online is where's, now I have all these numbers, I thought these would be stored in like individual fields, and they're not. You have to do something with them here. And by the way, I've totally skipped over the part of surveys where you can qualify and disqualify people based on their answers, okay? If Sunday wanted to get really fancy right here, she could come here and say that depending on the answer right here, she can qualify. She can basically, number one, control the navigation, which should be really fancy. This is not a fancy Sunday. This is a simple Sunday. She could get really fancy and jump around the navigation depending on their answers. So let's say Sunday's got some more questions for the 5,000 plus people. Sunday could pick another slide here and make that survey jump to that because she has some more in-depth questions there. So that would be kind of cool. Oh, something I totally missed, which you guys didn't catch. I can't believe I just made a mistake. Does anyone see the mistake I just made as I was building this question right here? But Sunday could get really fancy here and disqualify after submit, or disqualify immediately and jump around here. So you could have, this is one of those cases where you sit there with a workflow program or a dry erase board and you kind of diagram out, you diagram out the question you're going to ask somebody based on their initial questions right there. Fancy Sunday needs to be more simple. Nah, girl, you do you. But as I was building all this, I just realized something that I didn't do, and I'm waiting for someone to see if someone in the comments can pick up on it. Let me see. So I want to answer these questions. Let's see. I want to answer these questions, but there's something on there I just didn't do. I'm waiting for someone in the comments to pick up what I messed up on here. You know what I need to do is I need to basically share my screen full size, don't I? Let's do this real quick for you, okay? Would that help people if I made my screen a little bit larger here? Let me see if I can resize that for you guys real quick. Can I resize? Can I move? Whoops. Let's not do that. Oh, here we go. Where was it? Right there. Unlock that so I can move. I can move Patrick around. Is Patrick better in the lower corner over here? Let's put Patrick in the lower corner over here. And let's expand out this screen size a little bit for you, okay? And let's modify this so it's not angled. Perspective. There we go, right? There we go. Very little perspective. Move this over for you. Give you guys some more screen real estate to see right there as I work on stuff, right? There we go. Okay. There we go. We'll just put Patrick down here in the lower left-hand corner, and then we'll go ahead. Has anyone picked up my screw up yet? I did not make my fields mandatory. Please make sure when you're going through and you have a single click survey like this, you come through each one and look down here in the lower right hand corner, make these mandatory. Otherwise, what I can do is, as I'm filling this out, I can just click on next and skip through all these questions right here, right? So make sure you come through each one of your questions right here, okay? And, excuse me. Allergies are getting in. And make each one of these mandatory, okay, required, excuse me. Just like we made certain name fields required. Okay, there we go. Now we can't, oh, excuse me, now we can't skip these. Oh, come on. Did I not save it? Must have been cached or something. There we go. Yeah, see, now I can't skip them. That's very cool. Okay, somebody has to fill out each independent one, okay? And then we get down to our transaction size. There we go. Cool. So that's really how you build a survey. And then what you get is, let's do one here. Okay, let's leave here. Let's filter travel agency prospects. I should have a share, a share option right here. Oh, excuse me. You know what? I may not have a link option because I didn't assign it to a domain. Preview, view submissions, move to folder. Oh, I don't need one. So link. Let's grab the link. So this is the real link right here, right? So those options would be saved over in the contact right now, okay? Okay, I know where we're going with this. Math. So this is what I had to do to get the math to work. Is you literally have to do your own math. So what you do is you come down here, and I added a hidden field, and there's an easy way to do it. Let me know, but I added a hidden field here. Let me see if I can find it. I believe I added a hidden number field here. And I called this, we'll say TA score, travel agent score, okay, hidden. And if I'm not mistaken, let's cancel this. TA score, is that what I did? TA score, hidden value, input. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna cheat. Let's see what I did over here. Save this. Okay, I'm gonna cheat. I have to admit I'm gonna cheat because I think I dragged the wrong kind of field on there. So I'm gonna hop over here to my my GHL Badass survey and take a look at what I did. I love the idea to save as a template. Yes, templates are just, like I said, templates are just freaking. They made this tool for us to have an amazing Score. Oh, I guess it was a score field I wasn't paying attention to. Okay, where's my score field? Score. There it is. Ah, okay. I just dragged down the regular numeric field. Okay, so we're going to say this is our travel agent score, coaching score. And that's where we get to do really, first of all, make it hidden, okay? Because we don't want them to see this, okay? Plus, they don't need to see it. So make it a hidden one right here. And then under calculations, you can do really cool stuff with literally a calculator right here. And so you can just add, you can say this one plus this one. Oh, excuse me. So we're going to say add field, coaching class you have, plus independent travel agent, plus what does your average booking transaction size says, okay? So we got like a little cool calculator here. If we close that, will that expand out? No, it won't. Okay. So we've got a little cool calculator here that at the end, we'll take all three of these and add these up and save them in the TA coaching score. Now, this is going to come in handy if you ever have to do something like, if you ever want to weight these answers, let's say. So let's say that how many coaching clients do you currently have has a heavier weight than these other questions. You could probably do something really cool here, like not put in a bunch of sevens. Oh, excuse me, gracious. But maybe you could do something here like this might be your how many coaching clients do you have, and we're going to give that a weight of 10. 10. Oh, times, I guess we can't type, times 10, right parentheses, plus the independent travel agent score plus the what is your average booking size score, okay? I haven't done that. I've only done that testing before. Let's just try it out live. Save that. It looks like it saves okay. Again, we don't really have to worry about this being a required field because it's a hidden field. No one has to fill it out, okay? So we're going to save that. And let's come over here and test it out, shall we? Come over here. Let's integrate. Let's grab our link. Grab the link. Let's open up a new incognito window. Can I do that? Can you guys see that? Cool. Oh, Patrick, you fool. Why did I not grab the link? There's the link. Okay. Here's my new incognito tab to make sure I don't gather any bad data from any previous completions. So we're gonna max out the scoring here, okay? Did you guys know, by the way, that when you have a Gmail account, you have an unlimited number of email addresses. All you got to do is put a plus sign after the first part of your email address and whatever you want, and that's a new email address that will come to the same email as your base one. So whenever I'm testing something, I always put Patrick Allman plus the time. So it's 10:02 on my clock right here. I always put Patrick Allman. That way I know which iteration of the test I'm in, and I get a unique email for every single one. But that email is going to go to the same place as patrickalmond@gmail.com. Okay? Patrick Allman plus 10:02 @gmail.com. We'll say Patrick 10:02 Allmond 10:02. Yeah, I add that stuff on my names too, so I can see my test records to see what they're like. You don't need to know anything about me. And my website is ghlbadass.com. Okay? Submit that. I didn't do any of the qualification, pre-qualification, qualification, disqualification stuff. If I had, it actually ends the survey early. So that's done. So let's hop over here now into our account. Thomas, I hope you and the kids are having a good morning. You guys all watching on the TV there. Hop over to my contacts, and there's my test record. So what you should be able to do Sunday, and you were asking about this before, is down here in additional information should be your questions from your survey. Is it qualification questions? No, man, it was right there. It was right there yesterday. Oh, come on. Really? Highlevel, you're going to embarrass me while I'm on camera. So all the questions from a survey actually end up showing up inside of the contact records. And come on, really? Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. There we go. I guess I had to refresh or something. So there's your questions right there, Sunday. That answers your question. Is these your survey fields now show up as custom fields inside of your contact record? And if I did it right, there should be my score right there, right? Which is going to be my 10, my 10 times 10, so my 100, and then my other two 10s, which I did not multiply. So this now tells me that this person is a pretty high prospect, pretty high probability of becoming a client maybe, and how I should talk to them based on their score. Now, in the perfect world, I would have just made that, 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30, and then I would know that my lower range is 6 and my upper range is 30, okay? This seems like a really good way to qualify people. And historically, I've done this on websites, and I'll probably end up doing this on my website again. But this is just a really good way of filtering out people. Oftentimes on websites, you will see, let's go back to Patrick for a second. You will see people asking for opt-ins to decide whether or not, are you a coaching prospect? Fill out this form and someone will get back to you. No, it's really good to have this filtering criteria, and I've seen this recently on various websites, but one of the ones I thought was pretty cool, I saw it on, is going to be, I believe, over on acquisition.com. So this is what people are like Alex Hormozy are using when you come to his website, and he's got this thing up here. This is exactly what he's done. He's used a survey like this, and this instantly helps him qualify the people that he wants to work with and what information he wants to give them. Alex used to, really only work with, I think, people that want to acquire businesses, but he's realized his paintbrush has to be a little bit broader now. And so if you want to start your business, he's got a path for you, okay? Now or later. So basically what he's done, if you look at this now, when you pick these have different qualifications. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's using Highlevel for this, but he's got a little bit fancier with the images. But if you notice here, what he's doing is the path that you take, your write your own story path, is different depending on which option you choose. So if you noticed, go back to previous, he really wants to work with these two groups, I believe, primarily. And these are the kind of people who are just like Alex Hormozy fans, and they love all of his stuff. He doesn't necessarily want to work with those people, but he still wants to share his podcast and stuff with them, okay? So when you're working in your business, having something like this to filter out people, this field or any. So give me an example there. Sunday, what you're talking about. I want to sell my business. I want to scale my business. So anyways, this is the acquisition.com version of this. I believe everybody should have this. I did it a while back on my website. I went through some website redesigns. Totally forgot about it. Saw it again recently. Remember, we had this feature inside of Highlevel. And so that's what you're going to see Patrick doing in his marketing pretty soon, is having one of these back up on his website right there, okay? So you need something like that on your website. Because we don't want to work with everybody. And we want automation, and we want our tools to help us filter out the right and wrong people, or the better people, people who are going to better qualify inside of our whatchamacallit. Got two of, yeah, look at this, Thomas. Very cool, man. Very cool. Oh, man, talk about a dad. Talk about a cool dad. Thomas is hanging out with his kids. Everyone's in pajamas, and they are watching Patrick just kind of geek out here on Highlevel. A family that geeks together stays together, right? So give me an example, Sunday. Can you only score on this field or any? I need to test this big time. So give me an example, and let's walk through this here. So we're going to go back to sites and back to our survey, right? Sites. I believe, um, I believe the answer I'm going to be giving you, depending on what you see, is going to be. I think initially you might be able to only filter on to do the math. For example, you can probably only do the math initially on numeric fields, on numeric scoring fields. And to do any fancier math, you probably have to do it inside of a workflow, if you will. But scoring on numeric stuff is really easy. But you could really, you could always do cool stuff like, well, let me see here. Can you only score on this field or any field? I need to test this big time. Oh, I think I see what you're saying. So let's say they have other fields that are not on here, right? Maybe, I don't know, area codes, zip code. What are some of the other fields that that someone could score on Sunday? Give me an example here. This is slick. Of course it's slick. You're talking to your boy here. Everything I do is slick, okay? Half the time my head is slick. I just didn't shave my head this morning. I don't do it unless it's slick, right? But if you were to score on based on anything else, I think you'd probably have to do it inside of a workflow. So if there was another custom field behind the scenes that wasn't available on here Sunday, what you'd probably have to do is come over here to your automations. We'll pick a brand new automation here. We will call this any field in a form and then score. Is there only one score field? Can you use calculations on any field in a form and then score? Is there only one score field? Well, let's go take a look. So that was a survey, okay? Yeah, Tamara. Let's put it what Tamara says real quick and just get back to Sunday's thing. I work with a GL agency that has over 1,000 sub accounts, and the niche is health and wellness. Oh, 100%. Yeah, this quiz strategy is going to be fire for lead gen, 100%, especially for health and wellness. Oh my goodness gracious, that's going to be awesome. Okay, so let's can you use calculators in any field in a form and then score? Is there only one score field? I don't know. Let's go in here and create another form, and let's see that. Let's see that live Sunday, shall we? So let's add a form here. So I'm assuming you mean form and not survey, right? So if you were to come over here, for example, and get someone's, let's try a really simple example here, okay? Let's add a numeric field. Let's add a numeric field here and see if we can do math on it, okay? Let's, we'll come up here. So monetary, how much bank do you make monthly? Okay, button. Submit this puppy. Okay, let's save that, right? Because we're saving early, saving often. And then I think what you're asking is, can you score based on this right here? Well, here's a score field. So let's give this a try. We're going to make it hidden, right? And then calculations, we're going to say rank their, we're going to get fancy here, score their lifestyle, okay? We're going to have some fun this morning. Because you know what? When you were a kid, you woke up and said, you know what? On Sunday morning in October 2024, I want to geek out watching another geek out on a tool that's part of my business. That's what you said when you were a kid, right? So score their lifestyle. How much bank do you make monthly? And then can you do, let me see something here. How much is your car payment? Actually, you know what? I take that back. Let's do something for Tamara. Okay, Tamara. Let's use Tamara's example. So Tamara, feed me some questions of something you would ask about someone's health. Okay, I'm gonna make up some stuff. I'm a gym rat, just like Thomas is a gym rat. I'm gonna make up some questions while I look at your comments, Tamara, and you're feeding them to me. Okay, so let's say if I'm coming to a health and fitness coach, okay, and I'm gonna ask, I want to know, and I need help. Okay, as a coach, it would be nice to know psychologically what the number one issue is. So that may be a matter of coming up with another radio button question down here and said something like, what is the repayment subtracted from? Ooh, that one. Money is a very special thing, Sunday. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but we'll try here in a second. So what is the number one problem health problem on your mind today? I would think if somebody is a coach, and that's what I'm assuming, Tamara, that you're using this for, is that they would want to know this right here. What is the number one problem when it comes to my psyche here? Okay, and some of these options here are maybe something like, I'm not happy with my weight, right? I wish I had more muscle. I wish I was more flexible. My eating habits are. Can we put the poop emoji in there? Oh, we can. We can use a poop emoji. Well, so my eating habits are, yeah, there's Patrick's top emojis right there. So my eating habits are that. Let me see. What's something else that somebody? Well, always gives ourselves an other option right there, right? Other. Let me see. What else? What other reasons do people go into fitness centers? I wish I had more muscle. I'm not happy with my weight. Let me see, Tamara. I'm waiting to hear from you here. So we're gonna start with that right there. Oh, somehow my button got up there. Let's move the button down. Save that. Let's move my score down. Yeah, I don't like how the drag and drop works. Sometimes to me it works better if you're dragging things up versus you're dragging things down. Okay. Oh yeah, you can create new score fields. I'm sorry, I might not have understood your question there. So let's save this. Of course, let's make this mandatory, required. So I'm basically using a form now, like I was using a survey before. So yeah, I mean, Sunday, if you're going through several forms or in a survey, if you're going through several panes, and you want to basically say, pane 1 plus pane 2 plus pane 3, pane being PANE, minus pane 4 minus pane 5. If you want to get a total for something like that, then yes, you could definitely do that. Yeah, you could definitely do that right there. Okay, so save this again. Made it mandatory here. Preview. And of course, we would have information on the form, name and email address and all that stuff here. So you could score this here, and this one might be. Do I get option amounts with these? Ooh, yeah, on forms I get option amounts also. So this one may be a 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 kind of thing. Again, going with the 10 being the highest score, and then backing down the possible lowest score as an option there. And so I can then score their lifestyle right here, which of course right off the bat would be add field, right that. So that number, this number up here would automatically be down here. But you would have some other qualifications as this here. Sunday, it's good to hear that you have enough to now play with. Yeah. And again, that's how I get really good at this stuff, is I play with it a lot. When clients have scenarios, I try to exercise the tool as much as I possibly can. But yeah, that's how you guys get good at this tool. It really is. But yeah, Tamara, in the health and fitness niche, this is going to be fire for you for sure. Health, health, and fitness intake. And then maybe what you can do, and this is what's going to be really nice once we have custom objects. And for those of you that don't know what custom objects are, you know what? I can even talk about those real quick. For those of you that don't know what custom objects are, they're going to give you the ability to manage other things inside of Highlevel besides just contacts. Okay. Right now, when you're inside of Highlevel, the main object, everything revolves around contacts, right? Contacts, first name, phone number, first name, last name, phone number, email address, all that stuff. Okay, it's all revolves around contacts. But what you're going to be able to do here, real quick, I wasn't intending to give a custom objects tour, but I'll do a quick demo of it. What you're going to be able to do eventually is come down here into settings and see this custom objects here, which I have access to as a beta, and you can create other things to relate to contacts. Okay, so I was big in the event management space for a while, still do some on occasion. You know, I've always wanted to have my CRM be able to have an event management system, so I can see when people buy tickets to different events, and then manage that information and keep track of their tickets, refunds, the kind of ticket, you know, VIP, GA, super VIP, that kind of stuff. So this is something that's coming. I don't know when it's going to be officially announced. I'm hoping at Level Up in Dallas. But the thing with this is people are getting really excited about it, but I think we have to temper that excitement with the fact that this can get complicated really fast. I had a guy the other day talking about he was going to he wasn't doing event management. He was doing something else. And you know, in the world of database design, you would not connect. You would never connect a contact directly to an event. Okay, it seems like, you know, here's a contact. Here's a series of events. Here's events. I want people I want all the people that bought tickets for this event. It's never that easy. Because oftentimes what you have to do is you have to do what I do right here, is you basically have to have an intermediate object called event tickets. Because an event is just the information about the event. You're going to a Morris Day concert, okay? It's going to be at this date, this time. Here are the directions. Here's some information about the event overall, okay? And then you have an event ticket object. An event ticket object is what has all the details of that ticket. An event ticket object has a field for the person, has a field for the event, has a field for their ticket price, their ticket type, what are their food allergies, yada, yada, yada. So this is where it's going to get really cool. And I was going someplace with this for Tamara, if you're still watching. Custom objects is going to be really cool because what you can then do is, if you notice when we were working on this form right here, we health and fitness intake, right? We submitted this information right here, and this is a snapshot, okay? This is a snapshot in date and time of this information for the particular person. So you would see this information over on a contact record, okay? However, when evaluating someone's health, I'm still waiting for this. Which part are you waiting for? Cool. When you are evaluating someone's health, the custom objects, Tamara, custom objects, Sunny, I got you. When you're evaluating someone's health, you may ask those questions several times over working with somebody. I mean, you're not going to ask someone what are you unhappy with today, just one time and never ask them again. If you're a coaching client working with a health client, if you're coaching a fitness coach working with a health client over time, you may ask this question several times over and over and over. And so then what you do is, this is where custom objects will come in handy, is you can ask that question and then store those results over time. Okay. And this is one of the reasons why whenever I get anybody who's coming on board who really wants to do a lot of coaching and tracking metrics, I will actually refer them to another package called Coach Accountable, which basically does what I'm about to show you in custom objects on a very grand scale. Highlevel is not the best tool for everything, okay? And if somebody is a big-time coach and wants big-time accountability, I refer them over to Coach Accountable integrated with Highlevel, okay? But let's say Tamara is going to keep track of multiple health results on people. Well, then what Tamara could do is Tamara could come over here and define a custom object. Let's go back to custom objects. And you know what? I'm going to use this one. I only get a limit of 3 inside of custom objects, and they haven't given us a way to delete one yet. So I'm going to call this one a health rating. Okay, health rating. Health rating. Health ratings. Okay, I'm going to change the name of this one here called health rating. And then what I should be able to do is add my custom fields, and maybe maybe one of my custom fields is my radio select, and this could be something like what we're talking about. What is your main challenge today? And we could actually, we could put in some of the questions we were talking about before, because remember we're going to ask this repeatedly over and over time. My diet. What were some of the other ones we had on there? My weight, my diet. My flexibility. And notice when I'm working on these custom objects now, these are the custom fields for the custom objects. Normally you see the object over here is only contact and opportunity. But when we start working with custom fields, we're basically working in the same, when we start working with custom objects, we have the same field editor we have for the other contact and opportunity objects. It's just we're adding these fields for the custom object health rating. Okay, save that. Look at that. We're even back in the same custom objects field, if you will, custom objects field. And now in health ratings, if I'm not mistaken, I've got this associated to many contacts. And then what you can start to do is you can start looking at your contacts as they fill this out over and over and over. And on the right-hand side now, you've got their health ratings. So let's say I'm talking to someone today, and oh, okay, I don't have one here. I have to create a new one. I don't have a form yet to create a new health rating. But basically what you can do, associate, new health rating. Can we not? Oh, I don't have any, so I don't have this filled. I haven't built this out completely. But you could see all of somebody's health ratings here, because there would be many health ratings to an additional purpose. And suddenly, in your case, there may be many trips. Maybe someone's planned many trips or many plane tickets that's associated with an individual person. Something I'm helping that we can do is do contact to contact association. Okay, so there may be like an intermediate object here for contact to contact association, but we've got people in the Highlevel community asking for ways to relate people. Parent to children, husband to wife, pet owner to pets, because there's very few people have one pet, right? Everyone has multiple pets. So anyway, custom objects is very close to coming. I really don't know if it's going to be announced at Level Up. I don't have any inside information there. But I just know it's the only thing really holding it up is us beta testers getting a chance to test workflows, because custom objects are going to have workflows like anything else. You're going to be able to instantiate. You're going to be able to create a new custom object instance and then have it go through a workflow. So if it's a client rating, or if it's a client, body assessment, you're gonna be able to do all the same stuff you do in contacts and opportunities. You're gonna be able to do those on custom objects also. We have not seen a beta test of that. I believe it's kind of in internal alpha is what it is right now. So I believe the feature is completed. They're testing it internally, which would kind of be like an alpha before it goes up to us beta testers, and then it will be released. Hopefully we'll have that by Level Up, but we shall see. Let's talk about your question here, Sunday. So think of objects like a table, and then you need relationship tables to connect them. Correct. Yeah, custom objects are very much like you know, like the Google Sheets of the world. You know, we're going to come here, do a new Google Sheet. And yeah, a custom object is a new table here. You know what? I don't care about all this new stuff. So this may be my travel agency custom object design sheet. And this one right here may be trips. We're gonna have a new custom object called trips. Just as a place filler here, I'm gonna have contact ID. You don't need to worry about, this is not going to be an actual field on there. This is just a placeholder. But this may be date, type. Think ahead. It may be yeah, just a type, never hurts. Title. This one we'll say expenses. Title may be, business versus personal kind of thing. Let's zoom in a little bit on this so we can see this. I'm trying to think of what else we would have here as far as so contact ID, date, type, title. What other information? Trip management. Do I need this custom objects? Solve my trip management issues. Yeah. Oh, it may be the owner. Maybe there's like an internal travel agent that's the owner of the trip. Maybe start date. End date. This may be order date. This one may be order date right here. Or creation date. This may be the start date of the trip, the end date of the trip. This may be the destination. I'm just winging this right here. This may be the destination. So these are all the individual facts that you may keep track of on the trip. How many people were on the trip, expenses, and then there may be some yes/no flags on here, like is this taxed? This may be a binary field, tax deductible. I don't know why a travel agent would be keeping track of that information, but who knows? Tax deductible. I know I didn't spell that right. But that may be a yes/no flag. So this is going to be a numeric field. So this is going to be date field, probably a drop-down field, text field, number, binary yes/no flag field. Oh, goodness gracious. Am I not sharing my screen again? Goodness gracious, Patrick. Where is the button? You know what? It's a button. All I got to do, Patrick, is press the button. Thank you, Sunday. I apologize for that. So, yeah, this is my Google Sheet, which is, this may be my travel objects, my travel agency objects. And then, so travel agency objects may be several of the objects I want to design. And then down here at the bottom, one of my objects would be trips. Okay, so that's down here at the bottom. I named it trips. And then here are the custom fields. And here are the custom fields for that particular trip. So that's what I was talking about before, is contact ID. This one you don't really need because when you create your association, this will be created for you. But order date is going to be a date field. Type is probably going to be a drop-down field. Text would be a free-form text field. This would be a currency field, probably a drop-down field. Date, probably a free-form text field, a number field, and a binary yes/no kind of field kind of thing. And those are all going to come into play when you're over here, trip amount, final payment date. Yeah, so trip. So I thought trip amount might be expenses, but we could say that, trip, we'll say trip amount. And then you said final payment date. So these are all going to be as you're working with custom objects over here in the same place you work with your normal custom fields, these may be a new folder here called we may have a folder here called travel fields, or we could say what trip info. This is going to go with let's pretend our health rating is our trip custom object, okay? And then what you can start to do is you can start to go into that. Let's refresh, get our folder on the screen. Folders, folders, folders. Where'd my trip info go? Oh, you know what? Upper right hand corner, I'm working on contact fields. So even though I created the folder for trip info, I gotta go over here and pick. There we go. There's my folder. And then once I'm in the folder is when I like to start creating my custom fields. So come over here in our design, and this may be trip amount. Let's close my extra tabs I don't need. This may be trip amount is going to be currency, right? I know I have a currency field, right? Monetary. This is a trip amount field. It's going to go in the group trip info over here under the object for it would be the right object name, obviously. So that'd be a custom field for that custom object. Final payment date. Where'd my field go? Trip amount, there it is. Okay. Final payment date would be a date time field. Ooh, is there not? Oh, here we go. Date picker. Date picker. And this is what you say, final payment date. Final payment date. Under the correct object and the correct group right there. Save. Okay, and then let's go back to our contact here. And, ooh, you know what? Over here, health ratings. So add health rating. Again, there's trip amount. So you can start to see here some of the fields that we have here, and then I should be able to add a new one here. And again, this is all beta, so bear with me. So we'll call this Sunday, October 6th. This is almost my Air Force anniversary day. Sunday, October 6th rating. And there we go. So now you're starting to see the custom fields here that when you're, so I'm basically on the left-hand side, as opposed to choosing contacts, I chose my custom object. You start to see some of the fields you can work with here and create those. And then you can also make sure you come over here and you can associate those with contacts. So let's pick a contact right there. So Patrick 1002. So I've now associated this custom rating with a contact. Did I do that right? Where's my list there? Health ratings. So there's my health rating right there. It should be associated with a contact, right? It should be associated with Patrick 1002. And then now I can come over here to Patrick 1002. So I can see it from the rating side, and I should be able to come over here and see it from the custom object side. There's the rating right there. So does that make sense? So so yeah, you can see it from both sides there. So that's really how custom objects are going to work right there. Okay. Whew. I see no more questions. So what I'm going to do, now that we've been at this for 1 hour and 58 minutes, is as always, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Tune into the live show. Right now it's 3 days a week. I think I'm going to switch that up to just 1 day a week, and have a more in-depth show, a more valuable show versus doing 3 days a week. But right now it's been 3 days a week, plus I'll do like a long live like this on Sunday, more of a technical / strategy one for the high level community. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. For those of you that tuned in, I think 2 hours is my limit. I think it's time for some more coffee. What do you think? Time for some more coffee and to get the household chores done to make the house run smoothly. But if you have watched, thank you very much. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure, of course, you share the video in the community and on your Facebook profile, especially to your high level peeps. Let's make everybody smarter, okay? Everyone, take care, and we will talk to you. Let me see. Ooh, do I have a buy graphic? Yeah, I should have a cool buy graphic. You guys take care. Have a great, great Sunday. Don't spend all of it in front of the computer, please.